Good morning. Rain delayed yesterday in the French Open. Did you pick anything out? Let's have a look at any possibles yesterday. Trickier day yesterday compared to the day before. For me, at least, it's the unknown factor for a number of these players. I don't know these players very well. I got out of this one, thankfully. Bailed out, and it's all in the point by point. If you look at Kwon's service game, particularly the first two sets, so distinct pattern. 15-40, very easy service games. 15-40. Now look at what he's done when Ruusuvuori is serving. 30-30s, 40-30s, 40-40 break points. And then yet again, simple service game for Kwon. Pressure. Well, not so on this occasion, but pressure again here. I got out, despite the world rankings. I don't know enough about this Ruusuvuori, and obviously not in the best of health. Not very good on his service game. I thought there was going to be an inkling that he would get back into it when you started seeing, well, you didn't see it here, but I think of one of these earlier two sets, he did have an easier service game and pressure the Kwon serve. So got out of that one. Elsewhere, I suppose, yes, we did get involved here, didn't we, with Shelton? So I'm glad about that. And that was about it. It was a very difficult day. This Bayets, the problem is with this one, I was reading up about him earlier on in the preview. And I said he's having an awful season. So I thought, oh boy, do I take the risk? Stefanos Tsitsipas, what a pity Fucsovics didn't win the first set. As you can see, these 1.11 shots doing the job yesterday. Poor old Rafa, injury, obviously figured that out with the odds. Cameron Norrie, again, another player who, if you read the review, he's having an awful season, particularly on clay. So, as far as taking him on in that final set, perhaps, where he had to win it, difficult. So we had some ums and ahs yesterday, but this is probably what you're after. Losing the first two sets, Virtanen must win. Sorry, Misolic must win the next set. But trusting 243rd ranked player, that's the problem. So we had all of these kind of problems yesterday in the tennis. Just some, can I trust someone that high in the rankings? But that said, you're going to get very short odds if you're laying Virtanen 2 sets down. Anything else? Not much. Looks as if the big guns all did their job. Again, Lajovic losing the first set here, 1.62 favourite. Gael Monfils, as you can see, I did warn you, he could overperform. I think the French players have been really buoyed by their home support. You can see that in their matches when they're not favourite either, putting in really good performances, apart from Jean-Jean, of course, against the world number one. In the ladies, not too much for me to do yesterday, but to see American v American, you could have taken on the first set winner, particularly as the outsider. The inference being that Americans, or from the same country, you'll know each other's games a lot better. So on that regard, I would have perhaps taken on a Potapova first set lead despite her odds. Get your liability as low as possible, basically, if you're going to have an angle in. Laying at 1.03 today, well, didn't quite get the Hubert Hurkacz move, but liability's low, and the only way is up, as Yaz, the famous tennis trader Yaz, would say. Hilary Dart, well, gave a good account in the first set, but didn't quite have the quality to get through there. So, quieter day yesterday. It was a very difficult day to unpack because we had those niggles, as I say. So, read the previews or don't read the previews. I'll leave it up to you. I was put off a couple of trades by reading previews yesterday. Bautista Agut, I would expect to take a set or two off Munar. Again, fellow Spaniards. This is heading towards even Stevens from a market's perspective. They must have an over round. Old Hitler haircut. is playing today against the number 60th in the world. Should have a comfortable afternoon. Again, players like this, Rinderknech, I don't know. Navone, I've been away so long from the tennis. I don't know these players. I don't know their capabilities. Carreño bust a cap in your ass. This is down to injury, being 1049th ranked, I would suspect. For Pablo Carreño, bust a cap in your ass. Elbow injury, 23rd of May. So a bit like Humbert, who went out in the first round. This is a very, very recent injury. And this is required, of course, for all aspects of the tennis game. More so, the serve. So watch out for Pablo Carreño bust a cap in your ass. He might be vulnerable today, as indeed is the case with the odds. This is down purely to his injury, I would suspect. Rinderknech, I don't know either. 69th, you saw with Ruusuvuori, Emil Ruusuvuori, 57th in the world rankings, losing to 400 plus. So these rankings are far too tight for me for a 1.14 shot. And these Aussies are always battlers, aren't they? David Goffin got through the qualifiers. He's playing Mapeshi Petrigard, who I don't know at all. David Goffin entering veteran status now. Unknown figure completely, but again, a Frenchman in France. So David Goffin opening winning set might be vulnerable. If they can continue boosting their local heroes. Mannarino again playing Zeppier. I would suspect Mannarino is going to be competitive here today. Taylor Fritz, as reliable as they come. Famous last words. Fellow Aussies meeting each other. Struth, mate. Where's me strides, mate? Tanasi Kokkinakis, mate. Struth. Where's me strides? 1.8 the favourite. Likely to be a 5-setter, I would suspect. This take on any player leading 2-0 in this particular match. Fellow Aussies knowing each other very well from the Davis Cup. Casper Ruud. Looks like a comfortable afternoon. Struff, I really like, particularly on grass. I wonder what he's like on clay. So some familiar names, far more than yesterday. Danny Evans against Rune, not a good opening round for him. Novak Djokovic, layable at 1.02. He's playing a Frenchman, and he's had a couple of big shock defeats, relatively to his odds. Shock defeats. This one against Tabilo. You look at Novak's pre-match odds, 1.07. So he's gettable. Another defeat here. Well, this was Casper Ruud, though. This is a top 7 clash, but still odds-on favourite. And another one here. 1.03 favourite. So something is up with Novak Djokovic. So he's got to be laid at 1.02. Got to. The only way is up. Liability extremely low. Not the Novak of old. Not the invincible Novak. More familiar ladies' names today. Petra Martic, Elise Mertens, Rybakina. Alice Cornet is likely to give a good fist of it against Zheng today. A local French hero. Alice. Katie Boulter. So it looks a more compelling French Open coupon today. Hopefully I'll make more money today. But there was a lot of matches yesterday. I didn't know the players. I didn't trust the rankings either. 200 plus in the world rankings. Very difficult to be confident. Let's have a look at the football. It was a very mixed bag yesterday. What an amazing display from Bochum. Had to score 3 goals. Did. Boom. No trading angle there really, unless it was 0-0 later on. Only the 1 goal in the first half. So good performance from Bochum. Superb. What a recovery. Allsvenskan. AIK thoroughly deserved the win here yesterday against Gothenburg. If you were following the in-play stats, you would have agreed with me there. 2 goals from Bochum and not from Bochum. 2 goals from Gothenburg. Potential to take Gothenburg on there if you trust the in-play stats. And it was a very quick recovery. Seletros. And then a potential winner from Svensson, but added to in the 90th plus minute. Good result for AIK yesterday. Didn't play the Super Etten. I'm just finding it hard to read the Super Etten. Those were the main leagues. Finnish Veikkausliiga went exactly the way of the research. I told you. VPS have only lost to first in the league, home and away. Very good performance there. SJK, potential title contender. Market providing you with extremely good value relative to this scoreline. Moving on down, I think that was about it yesterday. So we can know the Obos-liiga, and again, it's a tough league to take on or have any confidence. But look at this 4-5 result for Östersund. I think they had a similar one against Start. That was a 4-3. Goals certainly notice. Both teams to score you'll notice as well in large proportion of matches. But again, it's a very hard league to have confidence in because these teams don't perform consistently, at least in these early stages. NAC Breda and Excelsior in the relegation playoffs. This is the first leg, so I can offer you absolutely nothing. There's not even a preview here. Malmo and Elfsborg. Malmo have been in exceptional form of late. Don't forget, the only defeat for Malmo this season has come against Elfsborg, and that was a 3-1 win for Elfsborg. So watch out. The market was far more emphatic than this a bit earlier on. So is the market going to get Malmo right? They've been keeping clean sheets, but don't forget, Elfsborg won 3-1. Degerfors and Varberg, the market looks absolutely spot on here. I think it's 3 wins and a loss at home for Degerfors, 3 defeats and a draw away for Varberg. That looks absolutely spot on. It would surprise me if Varberg were to land a blow. Varberg don't score that second goal away from home, so they do look vulnerable. That's one of them actually more readable matches today. The Malmo and the Degerfors matches. Strange for that league that it's readable. Hartberg and Austria Vienna, 2.45 the favourite. Give that one short shrift, unless there's an in-play stats angle. Bundesliga 2, Wien Wiesbaden and Regensburg. First leg result was 2-2 for this relegation final. So it's all to play for in the Bundesliga 2. Wien Wiesbaden and Jan Regensburg. Let's have a look at the match. The 2-2. Was there any standout scoreline? Well, it was 1-0 to 1-2 to Wien Wiesbaden. And then we've got a late equaliser from Kotta. So similar odds, I think, today. Suggest it's going to be extremely difficult. Well, they've just gone odds on about Wien Wiesbaden, who did lead in that previous match. 2-2, all to play for. As we move down, Obos-liiga start against Sogndal, 2.25, the favourite so early in the league. No, thank you. Don't forget, we can pick our battles, can't we? So I'll see you again for the tennis today. Hopefully it'll be, we won't have that rain today, which has been the huge concern yesterday, and it just interrupted the flow of the matches. But we've got a lot more candidates, or noticeable candidates today, players that I know very well indeed, which makes life a little more interesting. But again, these are kind of matches it's difficult for me to get a handle on. I don't know Mapetchi Pericard at all. Yes, I know he's a Frenchman at the French Open, and he's odds-on favourite. David Goffin has been around for a millennium. He's nearly as old as Joe Biden, old David Goffin. We've got a lot of odds-on favourites, and that's always good news as well. So watch out for the Frenchies today. Are they going to overperform? Zepierre against Mannarino. So why is Zepierre favourite? I don't understand. Why is Zepierre favourite? The only reason could be a recent injury concern for Mannarino. No. So has the market got this one wrong? 22nd in the world at his home event, not even a favourite. So I don't understand that. Struggled on clay. Oh, he's lost 8 of his last 10 on clay, so he's not a clay man. That could be the reason. There we go. Huge rankings difference, though, might make a difference. So I'll see you throughout the day. 6 o'clock for the two Swedish matches. I think they're the most readable today. If they will oblige for us, we have to be a little patient with a lack of very strong candidates. We've still got these playoffs, which are very difficult to get involved in. We've got those two, the Malmo match and the Degerfors match. Those are the ones which stand out for me today. So I'll have a quick look at those. And I'll see you for the tennis from 10 a.m. onwards. Hopefully we'll have a tennis trading angle or two today. Have a great day.